Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to today's maths class. Today, in this video, we are going to continue chapter number 3, Understanding Quadrilaterals, and we are going to solve two questions of exercise 3.3. We are going to start question number 2. Let's see what is there in question number 2. Consider the following parallelograms. Find the values of the unknown x, y, z. In this question, children, we are given certain parallelograms. Okay, the quadrilaterals given to us are parallelograms, and there are certain missing angles which are in the form of variables. You can see here this figure is given. Here angle B is 100 degree, angle C is x, angle A is z, angle D is y. We have to calculate the measure of these three unknown angles, which is x, y and z. How are we going to calculate, children? You see that in previous class we discussed the types of quadrilateral and the properties of special types of quadrilaterals, also the properties of a parallelogram. So since all these figures are parallelogram, so we will use the properties of parallelogram only to calculate the missing unknown angles here. So you see that I am starting the solution here. Y will be equal to 100 degree directly. That's very easy to visualize because angle B and angle D is a pair of opposite angles, and we know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are always equal. So the measure of angle Y, the measure of Y will be equal to 100 degree. So first part is solved. Okay, we got one unknown angle. Now secondly, we know one more property, that the adjacent angles of a parallelogram are always supplementary. Okay, so there are total 4 adjacent pairs of angles in a parallelogram. If we look here, angle A and angle B is a pair of adjacent angles, and their sum will be equal to 180. So this I have written, and I have mentioned the reason also besides it. After solving the equation, I'll get z equals to 80 degree. Okay, children, so the measure of z is 80 degree. Further on, if I observe the figure carefully, I'll see that again angle A and angle C is a pair of opposite angles in a parallelogram. I have already got the measure of angle Z. So when Z is 80 degree, the measure of X will also be 80 degree because opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. So that's how I have calculated, I have found the missing unknown angles in this given parallelogram. Hope you have understood it. Now, I have taken part number 4 of question number 2 here. The figure is drawn here, and again we have to calculate the unknown missing angles x, y and z here. Okay, so let's carry it on. Let's see how we can find it out and what property can we use here. First of all, this y and this angle is a pair of opposite angles in a parallelogram. So the measure of y will be equal to 80 degree, and the property will be opposite angles of a parallelogram. So that's how we have found y. Further on, if we observe the given parallelogram carefully, we'll find that this angle and that angle is a pair of adjacent angles, and the adjacent angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. It means that the sum of adjacent pair of angles is 180 degree. So here I have written x plus 80 degree is equal to 180. On solving it, I have got x equals to 100 degree. Okay, so the measure of x is also found here. Further on, I am left with z here. I need to calculate the measure of angle z. Okay, now students, for your convenience, what have I done? In the question, the name of this quadrilateral is not given. So I am giving this quadrilateral a name. Okay, I am writing it A here. This is B, C and D. So now this ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, now we are going to use a property of parallel lines and transversal. In your previous class in 7th standard, we teachers taught you the concept of parallel lines and the transversal. Transversal is a line which intersects two parallel lines at two different points. Okay, so when a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then total 8 pair of angles are formed. Okay, you might remember that the angles like this, okay, for example these two angles or the angles like this is a pair of corresponding angles. And what is the property of corresponding angles? It says that the corresponding angles which are formed by when a transversal hits two parallel lines, then the corresponding angles formed are always equal. Okay, so using this property I can say that Z will be equal to 80 degree. Why 80 degree? Why it will be equal to 80 degree? Because this Z and 80 is a pair of corresponding angles, and these two are the parallel lines, and this is a transversal. So Z will be equal to 80 degree by corresponding angles. Okay, so hope you have understood. That's how we have calculated the three missing unknown angles here. Now you have to practice other questions also of question number 2. There are some other parts also of question number 2 which you all are supposed to solve. Thank you so much.